Alright, what's going on everybody? Norris here. Hope everyone's doing good. Welcome back to my channel. We're doing another elevator music episode 40, which is pretty cool. The fact that we're at 40, I didn't think it would last that long because I always thought I would actually like change the name of my album review segments to like a different name or something like that. I stuck to the name. I don't know, elevator music, I kind of like it at the same time, right? The whole meaning behind it. You're in the elevator and you listen to the music in the background. So it's kind of like you're listening to music until you get to the next point of what you're doing in your life, right? When you're in the elevator, you're really just waiting to get to the floor you want to get to. You're listening to music at the same time. So that's the whole meaning behind the name elevator music. Why I call my album review, my song review segments elevator music. That's where the name came from, if you're ever wondering. We got another episode here for you guys. We're at episode 40, which is really cool. Today we're gonna do the album Sick by Earl Sweatshirt. Earl Sweatshirt, I think he started his career in Sacramento, California. I could be wrong about that. He's the West Coast California rapper. Started his career with Odd Future, Tyler the Creator. I did a bunch of videos about Tyler the Creator. I gave my opinion about his music and like how he influenced me throughout my music career. I talked a little bit about Earl when I was talking about Tyler the Creator. They're very close friends growing up, skating and making music with each other. Started a super empire group. It kind of converted into like a empire. They don't really make music together as Odd Future. They kind of have their own like they make music under their own names now. Everybody's is their own solo artist now. Now Earl, he's basically putting out very like poetic style albums. That's what I've noticed. Keeping it hip hop still. His attention is heavily on like the poetic aspect of like how he puts his music together. His dad is a poet. I think his dad passed away when he was like in high school still or something like that, or like a little bit before that. And I know his mom's a university professor for like I think English classes. I could be wrong about that. His dad's a famous poet and his mom's a university professor. It gives you an idea of like how this guy is going to be making his music already just by like knowing that information right from the start. You already know what kind of music you're getting into. Very poetic style music, very unique in terms of like meshing that poetic style with like hip hop looped sampled beats. This album specifically was heavily produced by The Alchemist, and that's a producer that I talked a whole lot about in my previous videos. Especially the one with Larry June. The Alchemist, that's the same producer, the same one that did a lot of work on this project here, and he's really good friends with Earl Sweatshirt too, so it's no surprise. Black Noise is another producer on this album a whole lot. He's featured on this album a whole lot. A lot of samples used from like poets and like other songs that he'll kind of like blend into like his skits and like the end of like a few of his songs and in the beginning. It's a very well produced album. I really did enjoy this album. Different from like a lot of music that I've been listening to recently. This album came out in July of last year. So Sick by Earl Sweatshirt. He's a rapper that I grew up listening to. One of my favorite rappers, sorry. I think I have him listed at like 17 on my top 104 list, so it shows you how much I appreciate this rapper here. Alright, so we're gonna go song for song for this project here. 10 tracks, 24 minutes long, so it's not too long. He made a lot of the songs very like short, starting with the first song, Old Friend. It's a great song to have in the beginning. He does a really good job at putting the right song in his intros. It's a good like entrance, a good like beginning, a good starting point to like what you're going to be introduced later on in the album with the other 9 songs that he provides you. Very poetic, like I was saying in the beginning of this video. He's almost like a poet talking to the beats that he's given. So like instead of rapping, it's almost like he's saying a poem over like a beat. Especially on the first song, Old Friend, he presents that very well. Another beat made by The Alchemist. The production is there. The next song, 2010, nice beat. It's done by a different producer. It's not by The Alchemist. I really enjoy listening to the beat. It's a great beat. One of the beats that I would actually use myself if I had the opportunity. There's a music video for this song too, and he just shows his lyrical side on this one. He goes very lyrical, kind of like his old school style a little bit. minus all of like the shocking, gruesome stuff that he usually used to talk about in his music with like Tyler the Creator. Their styles completely changed from the time when they were kids making music till now. A lot has changed. He's grown up, he's more mature. He's gonna keep that lyrical style. A lot of the dark stuff that he used to talk about, he doesn't really talk about that anymore. It kind of just grew out of it. The song Sick, great sample on the beat. This is a song with a beat that I'm just like, I never heard this style before, you know. It's a very unique sounding beat. The way the beat was sampled is very distinctive, very different. Something I've never heard in my life before, which sort of makes it like my favorite beat. It's not my favorite song on the album, but it's my favorite beat on the album. I thought the beat was very interesting. The way it was constructed gives me ideas for like my own beat making. Out of everything, it's probably the most impressive part of the album. The fact that the beat is just so different sounding, you know. He goes with like a very unique sounded flow too, so pretty cool. The next song, Vision, featuring Zelooperz. I thought it was a cool song, cool idea to have the feature kind of like overtake the song. The beat is mostly Zelooperz just rapping over it, right? It kind of just ends off with like a skit talking about racism. So I thought it was a cool song, you know what I mean? It's a song that I've like the style of the song, I've heard it through other songs before, but the arrangement of how everything was done on this song, the way he would get Zelooperz to rap for like 3 minutes, ended off not like a simple beat, but like sort of like a heavily sampled beat. Have like the lady talking, I forgot what the lady's name is, but have the lady talking at the end, talking about like racism. I don't think Earl, like I don't even think he's rapping on this song. It's mostly Zelooperz, so I found that pretty interesting. Never really like heard a song done like that before. Tabula, Rasa, another great song, great feature with Armand Hammer. Billy Woods is part of Armand Hammer. So when you see Billy Woods, there's a music video for this song. Billy Woods, he's in a music video with like the censored the eyes. He's another rapper that I featured in my top 104 list, so I found that pretty cool watching the video. Listening to the song, the flow and the lyrics on the song, very poetic, just like I was saying in the beginning of this video. Earl came with a very poetic style with this album. Doesn't really rap so much when it comes to like his lyrics, how he wrote his lyrics. It's more of like a poetic style that he came with, which is pretty interesting, and I like it. I personally like it. It might be like a different take with like the rest of the world and like how the music market is for like hip hop. I mean, people I think will still listen to it just because of the magnitude that Earl's name carries, and the fact that he got most of his fame from Odd Future. Like, people are gonna listen to this regardless of it being like super like experimental or super poetic. It's at the same time, I really hope it does like get as famous as like a typical hip-hop album that comes out in 2023, and the way it blows up. I feel like music like this should blow up the same way. But the next song, Lie, this one has a lot of horns going on throughout the beat. Typical Earl flow, nothing too different, you know what I mean? It's not like most of the album, it's, you know what I mean, he kind of goes more with his like some rap songs style rapping. Some rap songs is another one of his albums or mixtape. I think it was like a mixtape that he put out, I think like 2 years ago, and on that project he comes with more of like a lyrical, not really East Coast, but I'll say like Midwest style. I feel like that's the style that he would use in most of his songs. He uses it heavily on this song, I feel, compared to like the other songs. They're a little more poetic. Lobby, this beat I found was just like alright. I hate to say that, but compared to the other beats on this album, I feel like this might be the worst one. It's just, I feel like more could have been done to the beat. I forgot who the producer was, but yeah, compared to the other beats of the album, I honestly feel like this is the weakest beat. Being completely transparent, completely real with you guys, I think the flow was pretty dope. I think he saved the beat with his rapping and his lyrics and his rapping skills all together, coming with like more of like a sped up flow, kind of like Migos, Atlanta sort of style type of like flow. I feel like he took a little bit from that and incorporated it into this song and try to like make it his own style. In the song God Laughs, so the next song, God Laughs, it's like an interlude to the album. Very short song, kind of just talks about his days, like being sick, unable to like sleep and eat, because there was a time in his life where he was losing a lot of weight, had to stop making music for a bit to kind of like focus on his mental health and his physical health, and try to like get back to like the old Earl that everybody knows him for. Talks a lot about that in this segment, in this skit interlude type of song, which is pretty interesting, and I found pretty cool aspect about the album. Yeah, very deep, very emotional part about the album. Titanic, another cool song. I'm pretty sure he has a music video for this song too. Another beat made by Black Noise, one of the better producers that Earl has ever worked with besides The Alchemist. Cool beat, very experimental beat, very experimental song overall, with like the lyrics and everything together. Found it an interesting song. It's a good idea to make a video for this song because it's that type of song that you want to release. It'll get people's attention, so thought that was a good idea to use that as the video song. Yeah, I like how experimental it is. I like when Earl dives into the experimental side of like beat making and like songwriting and kind of like just makes it his own. I feel like that's his best. That's when Earl is at his best, when he's working with like more experimental, more jazzy style, like hip-hop songs and producers. It brings the most out of his talent, in my opinion. And the last song, Fire in the Hole, great sampled beat. I like how he raps for like the first half of it, and then it finishes off with like a piano segment. I can't really tell who's playing the piano. I didn't check for the credits, but it's a cool part that rides the album out. Kind of like completes the idea of like the song being like a super like poetic style, experimental style album that not a lot of people may not get into, especially like the younger fans that listen to Earl Sweatshirt. I feel like this album was made for like his older fans, kind of getting closer to the age of 30, a little bit past the age of 30, and even older than that. As he got older, closer to like his mid-20s, his brain starts to develop and he starts to get more mature, and he understands that the magnitude of like what he says is huge and it can impact the world heavily. He's now in his mid-20s. He's like a fully matured adult. He's not sick no more. He's not starving himself no more. He's in good shape. I'm pretty sure he has like a wife and kids now. He has his own house, you know what I mean? Like he's completely 360 changed his life from being like super depressed to being like the super hip-hop star that he was always meant to be. This album explains all of that from the beginning till now. It shows the maturity that he possesses now in his like music and just as a person, and I'm proud of him, you know what I mean? Just being a fan of Earl Sweatshirt over the years, kind of similar to what I was saying about Tyler the Creator and like their best friends growing up. I'm very proud of like seeing the progress that he's produced from being a kid all the way till this point and being a rapper that he is now. He's so much better now than he was before too. Like his talent, his skill level has gone to like another level too. So just like the way Tyler the Creator has. I give this album an 86 out of 100. Even saying everything I said, it still didn't really like blow me away the way some albums did for me in the past, but still 8.6 or 86 out of 100, just cause like it's a lot I haven't heard before, you know what I mean? Lyrically, he still got it. There's a lot of lines that I heard in there that I've never heard before that impressed me a whole lot. The beats impressed me a whole lot. I felt like the beat selection was really good. What would bring this album to like a 90 would probably be like put more features in it. I feel like he could have done a better job at like added more features or better features. The beats could have been better. There could have been more songs. I felt like it was a little bit too short. It was only 24 minutes for like a 10-track album. I feel like he could have made it a little bit longer, but besides saying all that, I still found it pretty impressive. 86 out of 100, and yeah, Earl, still one of my favorite rappers ever. Thank you guys again for watching. That's another album review. Elevator Music 40, Earl Sweatshirt, Sick. All the information about how to listen to the album will be down below. I got a brand new song coming out, a brand new song that I produced. This one's called NPC 1 Billion. It's going to be featured on my YouTube and all of the platforms that I put my music on May 20th for 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm Looper Norris, and thank you guys again for watching. I'm out of here. Peace.